3948. It's at the very top of the page. It's at the very top of the page, and you can select if you were given enough money to pay off one type of debt, which would you choose to pay off? We got a home payment, we got student loan, and we got car payment. So as you're coming in, let's hear what you got. I think personally, you know what? I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna let y'all speak first, and then I'll tell you what I think. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Coming in. We already got some votes coming through as well. All right. Most so far is saying home payment. I get it. I get it. Nice, nice. Student loan. Someone's already racked up student loan. I hear you. All right. Cool.
That was me, I must admit.
Nice. Yeah, Jay is like, can I do all three, or do I just have to
Right?
do
Can I do all of them, please? Can I get enough for all of them?
You said enough money. It should be enough to cover all of it.
Right?
Pick one.
I'm glad
guys.
you
Come
asked
on.
all of them. No.
Nice. All right, y'all. If you're
What's
just
better
now
financially
joining us,
for you guys?
yeah. If you're just now joining us, we are going to be talking about finances today. So first of all, welcome. Secondly, want to get your opinion. So the question to answer for the icebreaker today is, if you were given enough money to pay off a type of debt, which would you choose to pay off? All you have to do is just go to menti.com and type the code that's on top of the screen, and then select and see what you got. Looks like most of y'all have said home payment so far. We got one that said car, and about two of you have said student loans. I'd pay those off. So yeah. In the spirit of vulnerability, I'll tell y'all right off the bat, I know we just met, but I'm about to overshare. When I was younger, I made some really dumb decisions when it came to signing leases for apartments. And so in that kind of sense, I think I would probably pay off my home payment that's following me. However, I found out a nice bit of information that might actually be super beneficial to which debt I would pay off. So we'll tap into that a little bit.
Broken lease gang, Alejandro. I guess we've all been, made some mistakes, but it's okay. It was fun.
Listen, and that's why it's so good that we have two professionals here today. This is what we need in the educational system. So we're excited to have y'all here. So we're gonna give it one more minute to put in your answers to everybody joining us. If you just now joined us, welcome. Since we are gonna be talking about finances today, we are going to ask y'all, what would you pay off if you had enough money to pay it off? So just go to menti.com, put in the code on top of the screen, and tell us what you got. Got one more minute. All right. Still looks like home payment is taking the cake so far.
What is the code?
The code is wait, let me see. Hold on. Give me one second. 9794-3948.
9794-3948.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yes, you got it. Cool. All right. So it's looking like home payment. I'm about to drop a dad joke on y'all. It looks like home payment took it to the bank. You know what I mean? So let's see. So I agree with y'all, with most of y'all. I would also do my broken lease payment for my previous quote unquote homes and apartments. But I learned something yesterday that was super interesting. And it looks like there could be an actual right answer to this should you have all three of them. And it looks like car payment should be the one that you should go with.
Yep.
Christy, do you want to tell us why maybe car payment would be the one that we'd want to choose?
Higher interest?
It's actually tax deduction. Your student loan interest and your mortgage are tax deductible. Your car payment interest is not.
Nice. Yeah. It's a tidbit of information that I learned yesterday. So really awesome information. But again, thank y'all for participating. Really excited to have all of you here. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing the screen for the time being. Again, thank y'all for coming out and supporting us. And I'm gonna pass it over to Christy, so take it away.
Hey guys, I am your Northwest Treasurer, and I'm so excited to welcome you guys. And I think the icebreaker was a great lead in to the event. Before we get started, I want to go over a couple of quick rules. And there's a PowerPoint playing in the background. You guys can read it. One of the things is we are asking everyone to go ahead and mute yourself so that the speakers can get through their presentations. We know everybody's going to have questions, excuse me, and we have some amazing information for you guys tonight. But we will be dropping their contact information in the chat, and this is recorded and it will be available to you. We are asking you to drop your questions in the chat, and excuse me, we are going to have one of our board members ask the questions of the speakers. We're going to do a Q&A after each speaker, and then if we have time at the end, we're going to follow up some other questions. So without further interruptions, I wanted to introduce our first speaker, a woman that I had met in 2017. She has been through everything she's about to teach you, and she is a proud owner of a company called Life Millennials. Micha'ela Warren. Hi, Micha'ela.
Hi, guys.
And our
Yay.
second.
Hey, Micha'ela.
I'm so happy to be here with you guys tonight.
Thank you, Micha'ela. Our second speaker is a best-selling author, tax attorney, and also co-founder of a Forbes 500 company called Anderson Business Advisors. Anderson Business Advisors. Welcome, Toby Mathis.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Toby. We are so excited. So let's get this ball rolling and get everybody started. Micha'ela, you're on. Go for it, girl.
All righty, bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now, and then we're going to get started. Okay, are you guys able to see my screen? Maybe drop in the chat if you're able to see. Perfect. Maybe I can get some thumbs up from the host if you guys can see the presentation right now. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Thank you so much, Christy, for that amazing introduction. My name is Micha'ela Warren, and like some of you guys, I was brought up to believe that adulting was easier than it actually is. But let's look at the statistics. So today's stats read, less than 17% of students were required to take at least one semester of personal finance in high school. No wonder we don't have the financial literacy that we needed. 59% of adults in the US admitted to living paycheck to paycheck in 2019. Young adults who receive financial education are less likely to carry credit card debt and more likely to apply to and receive grants and financial aid. So drop some claps in the chat, because you're actually here tonight to receive the financial education that's going to make you less likely to carry debt and financial burden for your life. So I'm really proud of you for being here. And then lastly, 18% of workers earning a salary greater than $100,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. Now, that was the most shocking to me, you guys. There's actually a name for those people, and they are called Henrys, H-E-N-R-Y, high earners, not rich yet. So although they're making a large amount of money, as fast as the money comes into their account is as fast as it's leaving, because they have high obligations, high debt, things of that sort. So I didn't want to be part of the statistic. I'm sure you guys don't want to be part of the statistic. So let's go ahead and get into the presentation. My story is very simple. Among my friends and family, I'm actually famous for being obsessed with adulting, but it wasn't always that way. I wasn't always financially savvy. I wasn't always responsible with money. I wasn't always concerned about my credit and my finances as I am today, but I did go through some things that brought me to this point. So the year was 2015. I was actually attending community college, just like you guys are right now. I was going to school full-time and working part-time. I actually worked at Chick-fil-A at the time. And unfortunately, I was not handling my finances properly. I wasn't making a lot of money, but what was the worst part was that I wasn't handling the money that I was making very responsibly. So as fast as I was making money, I didn't have it. And it was like I would get paid on Friday and then I would be back to low income by Monday. And some of you guys might know this struggle. You might have lived it. It may be your current, but we're going to get you through so that you aren't experiencing that anymore. So I went through that, you guys, and I made a decision. I set a goal actually during this time that I wanted to move out on my own for the first time. I was just craving that independence. And some of you guys might be in that state in your life, or you might have just passed it, where you're wanting to move out, you're wanting to be on your own, you're wanting to handle things and really like take on this adulting, right? So I was at that place and I knew that I wanted to set big goals to move out and that it was going to cost a lot of money. So within a year, I had worked really hard and was making a little bit more money. So I was able to save a lot more, but it took a lot of discipline. It took a lot of focus and some sacrifice. And so that's really what brought me to where I am today to be your adulting coach. I successfully saved $10,000 in under 10 months, and my life has been different completely as far as finances go. So now I give back to my millennials and my Gen Zers, and I teach you guys personal finance so that hopefully you don't have to live my struggle and you can learn and grow and really be on a path to financial like abundance. So let's go ahead and get into the actual content of the presentation. So I want you guys to leave here tonight with some important pillars, some important foundation to put you on the right path to be financially savvy and strong. Of course, we're going to be learning from Toby later, who is going to really set us up for investing and wealth building, but you have to get and master the fundamentals of finances to even get to that part. So we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of tonight. We're going to start with budgeting. And when I say the word budgeting, you guys might be thinking like budgeting, and you might be thinking it's only for poor people. It's too restrictive and budgeting is boring. But I want to encourage you guys that actually budgeting is the process of creating a plan to spend your money. And my favorite definition is it's simply telling your money where you want it to go. I always say, if you don't tell your money where you want it to go, you're gonna wonder what the heck happened and where did it go? Like you're gonna wake up, you'll be like, okay, I just got paid and now what happened? Why is my account like this? So it's really key for you guys to master the art of budgeting, for you guys to have fun with it. So I have some resources for you guys I'm gonna be giving you, but we're gonna talk about how to budget. So it starts with setting a goal, right? I don't know where you guys are in your life right now while you're in college. You might be wanting to, I think someone's drawing on the screen. If we can remove that, maybe host, if we can remove that. But so you want to set goals for your finances. Don't know if you're in the process of saving up for a wedding, or you want to move out, you want to get a car, or you just want to save for just life in general and have your finances set so that you don't have to worry about them. So that's key. That's going to help you in your day-to-day, because you're going to have that goal in the back of your mind that this is where I'm trying to go. And so all of your decisions will be based on that goal. Next, you're going to identify your income and expenses. So you always want your income to be way higher than your expenses. That way you are living within your means. Next, you want to define your needs versus your wants. You have to understand and know, what's crucial, what can wait. Maybe that third trip this year might not be a necessity, and it might actually take you off of your goals. And of course, we all want to live a great and fun life, but we do have to make crucial decisions day to day that are going to keep us on the right path so that we do reach the goals that mean the most to us in the long run. And then you want to decide how much of your money will go into each category. So on the left side of the screen, there are some examples. You have housing, life would be something like health, maybe groceries, just day-to-day things. You have transportation. You want to budget for your savings and investments. And then lastly, you want to be paying back your debts. So if we have any type of student loans, we're working on paying those back. Any type of loans in general or credit cards, we're always working on paying those off. So here are the budgeting resources that I want to talk to you guys about. My favorite is actually on the left side of the screen. And I didn't discover this one until maybe 4 months ago, but I swear to you, it has changed my life. It's by Dave Ramsey, called Every Dollar. And it's actually a free app in which you can upload your income. And it's kind of like really interactive and colorful. It makes budgeting fun. Every single month, you can start fresh. and just put in your income and all your expenses. And it really goes off of what's called a zero-based budget. So every single dollar that comes in, you're allocating it to a certain category, which includes savings and investing. Next is the Intuit Mint app. And this is the app that I was using back in the college days where I actually saved my first 10K. So it is still very effective. It's kind of similar to Every Dollar. So you guys can try that one as well if you like. And then on the right side of the screen are actually two traditional types of budgeting. So if you're the type of person that you like to hold your cash, you like to feel it, then the envelope method might be great for you. And then also lastly, in the bottom right corner is an Excel sheet. So still very useful. All right, so we're going to talk about saving for your future. And one of my favorite quotes is, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. You actually have to include saving and or investing in your budget, right? If you know you're making, let's say $1,000 for the month and you're saying, I want to put 10,000 away, you have to like really mean it and put it away. Because if not, the $1,000 is going to come in, but then at the end, it's going to be back to zero because you didn't prioritize your savings. So one of the most basic goals you can start with if you haven't saved up money before and saved up an emergency fund is to start with $1,000. Now, the year that we have just experienced, 2020, and the whole pandemic and everything has really taught us how important it is to save for emergencies. I know we all did not see this year coming. And so now we understand that rainy days are going to come. Adulting is going to happen. Life is going to happen. And so we want to be on the side of preparation when this stuff happens, because it's going to happen regardless. And then lastly, you want to strive to save for 6 to 12 months of expenses for those big life emergencies, such as losing a job or, not being able to work for a period of time. Or let's say you get pregnant, you have to be out with your baby, like things that you can do for long term. That way, all of your bases are covered. I always live by sacrificing short-term satisfaction for long-term success. When you're thinking about spending, overspending, maybe think about that quote and it'll help you stay aligned with your goals. Very important to eliminate distractions. So maybe it's not a good idea to go to the mall if you're trying to save up a lot of money this month. Maybe you can wait till next month or a few months down the line. Know yourself, know your triggers so that you can eliminate them to be more disciplined. And then another principle that I love is make more money to save more money. It's going to help propel you. So even if you think maybe you might not be so qualified for that job, apply anyways. If it pays you more, if you think it's something you're good at, because you never know, you might get the job and it might pay you more. And so by default, you're going to reach your financial goals a lot faster. So let's get into credit building 101, right? Fun stuff. So what is credit? The ability to borrow money or access goods and services with the understanding that you'll pay it later. So it's a system that our country runs on financially, where money is lent to you, whether it's a loan or credit card, and you are expected to pay it back in a timely manner responsibly. So ways that you can establish credit if you haven't started yet, or if you're in the beginning stages, is to apply for a credit card, become an authorized user, which I wish I knew about this one a long time ago, but become an authorized user with someone that is financially savvy and has excellent credit could really boost your credit, right? So if you have a parent, a guardian, a grandparent, someone that has excellent credit, maybe talk to them about adding you as an authorized user. Now, you won't be able to get their credit card and run off and start charging it, but you will benefit from their excellent credit usage. So it will reflect on your credit report since you're tied to that account. So every time they pay the bill on time, it's actually helping you build your credit as well. So that's an awesome way for you to start building credit. And then lastly is managing your checking and savings account responsibly. So always making sure that you're in the positive when it comes to your account. We're going to talk about two different types of credit cards that you may and may not have heard of. The one on the right is unsecured. So that's mostly the most popular type of credit card. So just the basic type where they're offering you a credit limit based on your income. And then on the left, we have a secured credit card, which kind of can expedite your growth a little bit faster because you will be putting your funds on hold. You'll be putting maybe $200, $300 into a savings account and using your own money to prove that you can be responsible with credit. So if you do that, The lenders would most likely be able to offer you another credit card after you've used it responsibly for about 6 months or so. So that's a really good option as well that I didn't actually know about when I was starting to build credit. So I did want to include that for you guys so that you can decide what would be the best option for you. So we're going to talk about, once you get that credit card, how to not completely mess up. Managing credit cards can either make or break you financially. I know that you guys know that we're in the, I believe, $13 trillion in debt as a country. And so you want to live by these principles of keeping your utilization under 30%. Don't max out your credit cards by any means. That's one of the fastest ways to really tank your score. Don't open too many credit accounts, paying off your balance monthly and only spending what you actually can afford. So I'm going to leave you guys with some homework. And I want you guys to take away some practical things that you can implement, honestly, starting tonight, to set your financial goal number one, so that you know where you're going financially and what's important to you. Everybody's different. Next, figure out where your money is going right now. So that means, yes, log into your bank account, go through your statements, go through your transactions, because it might be that situation like how I had when I was spending $700 a month on food that made me decide to change my habits, right? Where you are right now, you may not ever want to be again. So figure out where you are. You want to create a budget. So use one of those resources or find one that works best for you. The best resource is the one that you can use consistently. And then lastly, find out your credit score. You can get this for free at Experian.com. You can find out your FICO score, all of that. So just figure out where you stand today. And so this is the end of my presentation. I thank you guys so much. I want you guys to know that the best way to contact me if you do need any extra resources or any one-on-one consultations, I do have an ebook as well. You can DM me on Instagram. That's honestly the quickest way. Or you can visit my website or email me. So I am here to answer your questions. I am here to help you on your adulting journey. You are not alone. And I want to go ahead and pass it to, I believe, Leo, because we're going to hopefully get into some Q&A. So thank you guys so much.
Hey, thanks, Micha'ela. This is a great speech. Congrats for that. And yeah, I have a lot of questions, but yeah, we have a very tight time. Well, we're going to try to post like a couple of questions. So the first one, do you feel minimum wage is a major factor in how we are able to save or make ends meet?
It is. I will say, like I said, try to go for things that are going to help you make more money. Like right now, we're in a state where the cost of living is so high that even the basic, maybe $10, $12, $15 an hour might not be what it takes to get you where you want to go. So really try to figure out what is it that you're good at, right? And what field can you get into that, you know, maybe you can use your degree, maybe you will be able to just use some regular skills that will help you. I really think that you should strive to earn more money because minimum wage won't cut it as far as basics.
Okay. Thank you, Micha'ela. And the second question is, based on your experience, why young people struggle saving money as soon as they start work?
I think the biggest factors are, one, lack of education. So everybody here has gotten the education now, but two, we live in a society where social media and advertising is always in our face. Just scrolling on social media, every 3 posts, there's an ad. There's something that's wanting us to buy. And then we have our peers who are buying things and showing things off and the people we follow. And it's making us want to keep up with the Joneses, essentially. So I think really eliminating those distractions, if you have to get off of social media for a little bit to reach some of your goals, I strongly recommend that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the third question is if my credit is messed up, how can I start building it again? Because I think most of the people struggle a lot with this. With
credit, okay.
Yeah.
So the best ways is honestly, I think applying for that secured card, because even if you have something like evictions on your credit report, or you have not really been like responsible in the past, a secured credit card, 9 times out of 10, you're approved because you're putting your money on the line. You're putting your own money in savings and using that as a credit limit. And so it's kind of one of the only ways that you can repair like on your own. So I would recommend looking into a secure card. That's going to help expedite. And a lot of people go to a secure card when they want to repair their credit. So look into that definitely with maybe your local credit union or bank.
Okay, thanks for your insights, Micha'ela. So the next question is, what is the difference between a credit card from a store and one from a bank?
Okay, typically from the bank, you have, well, both of them are revolving credit limits, but one is more so like a retail credit card. You probably wouldn't use as much. And then the other credit cards are more basic ones that might come with other rewards. You might get cash back. So it is important to look through and find out what the fine print is on those cards.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, if there is a certain credit card company that you recommend?
There are a few. The top ones right now for 2021 are the Discover student card, and they actually reward students. They will offer you, I think, 0 interest for about 12 to 18 months, which will save you a lot of money. I actually started with a Discover card. And then Chase Freedom, I believe, is also a really good one for students. That's really high on the list. So definitely check out those. If not those, then just Google a list of what's currently really good for students and see what's out there to offer, because these banks and credit unions and companies are competing to try to get us to get an account with them. So they might be offering something new that wasn't out before.
Okay, thanks, Micha'ela. So thanks for this time. And yeah, I would like to pass it over to Chrissy again, I think.
Thank you, Micha'ela. That was a wonderful presentation, and I think everybody loved it. Now we're gonna get started. Toby, if you would like to start your presentation, we are excited. Thank you.
Sure, I'll jump in. So I'm going to go really fast, guys. I apologize, but I always come prepared for about 3 days of content, and I think I got 25 minutes. So we're going to hammer it. I'm going to ask you guys a bunch of questions. We'll play a little bit of myth building. So if you would please play along by going into the chat, that'd be great. So first off, does money buy happiness? What do you think? Come on, be honest. Heck no, 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 no. And we have a couple temporary. Yeah, so here's the deal. Guess what? When they go out and they quiz people, you have a better chance of being happy when you have money. I'm sorry, but it's usually what they're doing is they're saying money doesn't buy happiness because they want you to be happy being poor. That protects the elites. And if we want to go up there and participate in a game that a lot of us aren't invited to play, you got to have to kind of say, wait a second, why are they placating us? Like, does money grow on trees? You get told, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. It takes money to make money. No, it doesn't. Talk to anybody who grows oranges or something. Yeah, money grows on trees, right? And you don't need money to make money. So we'll play with some. What percentage of millionaires, people with over $1 million, do you think made it themselves just every day? Or what percentage, well, I'll just say that, what percentage are self-made versus they inherited their wealth or they were given their health? Somebody says 1%, 99%, 12%, 15%, 10%. There's a lot of good ideas out there. Yeah, here you go. 88% are self-made. I'm one of them. When I came out of law school, I'm an attorney by trade. I'll just tell you that. Big time investor, on several hundred properties, own a company. We have 400 employees. Love doing it. I don't have to work. I goofed off today. I pretty much just golfed all day, but I work my ass off. So I really love doing what I'm doing. Just love digging away at it. But a lot of the times they poison our thinking. And so when I started off, I didn't have any money. I actually had a child and I lived in a 400 square foot studio apartment. I was like couch diving to get JoJo's sometimes. I know exactly what it feels like. I used to joke. I was so poor, I'd go to Kentucky Fried Chicken to lick other people's fingers. Yeah, it's like you don't have to have any money. You can absolutely do this. And 88% of those millionaires out there started from nothing. How many of you guys think that you have to be lucky to be a millionaire? Got to be lucky. You got to have that great job. You got to be just somebody's going to give you that money. You do not. 62% made less than $100,000 a year. In fact, of all of the professions that are millionaires, and this was on a study of over 10,000 millionaires, the top 3 was engineers, accountants, and teachers. Teachers. Yeah, it's just steady Eddie. It's living off of less than you earn. When Micha'ela was talking about the Henry, I'm going to steal that, by the way, Micha'ela, that was a good one. Where was the 10,000? There's way more than 10,000 millionaires, guys. There's way more wealth in this country than you realize. You just have to decide. I would say, you want to be an American or do you want to be an American? The Americans say, you know what, I can do just about anything and I can be rich if I want, but you could be a rich, miserable bastard if you're not careful. That's the person that doesn't feed the spiritual side of themselves and doesn't help other people. But on the same token, you could be poor and needy as well. You want to be the person that says, I can do whatever I want. I don't worship money, but I absolutely allow it to come with me. And the easiest way to do that is to live off of less than you make. And Micha'ela, you had a really good percentage. I'll make it a little bit simpler. I use 70-30. And then you break it off into your budget. Micha'ela's budget is perfect. I think her numbers and mine align just about. This is what I say, 70-30, live off of 70% and then give the other 30%. I believe that you have to give money away, even if you're poor. I'm sorry, but if you don't have the dollars to give the time, but make sure that you're doing 10% giveaway and then make sure you're investing. That's the only thing I'd be doing in those two. That's slightly different, but that's perfect. Follow that budget to the T. How about this? Do you have to work for a big company? Do you have to get like, hey, big company comes out and plucks me out of college? And I might change the consonant on that one, by the way. See if you guys get that. We'll see if you're paying attention. No. So this is what's interesting. You have about a twice as good chance to become a millionaire if you're doing like Micha'ela's doing. She works for herself. I imagine that's your company, Micha'ela, and you just, yep. It doesn't mean that that's everybody. Some people are very, very happy being an employee, and it's just figuring out what fits your groove. But there's nothing that says I got to go work for GE or Microsoft or Alphabet. My brother works for Amazon, the big behemoth, and before that he worked for Microsoft. He made a game called Forza. Some of you guys may have played it. He was the lead designer on it when it came out of Microsoft. He's just a goofy guy. All he does is play video games all day, but he says he's working. That makes him happy, and he's very, very rich as a result. How about this? Do you have to go to a great school? Put up the deal right there. You do not have to go to a great school. In fact, a lot of millionaires didn't graduate from college. The vast majority go to just public schools. Don't let anybody like demean you or trick you into thinking that, man, it's not what you know, it's who you know and all that garbage. No, you can absolutely create your own reality just out of your beliefs. And it comes down to that little checkup and the neck up. It's fixing the mind. The mind will create beliefs. The beliefs will create results. 100%. All you got to do is say, hey, I could do this. Absolutely. And what's interesting is the folks that are the millionaires out there. Again, I mentioned that the top one was engineers, because they break it down and they go, oh, wait a second. If I like here, I got a number here. If I put away $41 a week, $41 a week for 40 years at 10% interest, I'll have over $1 million for retirement. And an engineer just says, oh, all I got to do is put $40 a week. That changes your perspective. If all you're trying to do is put $40 a week, it's $40 a week for 40 years. So if you're 18, that means you'll be 58 and you'll be a millionaire. Somebody says, I'm 43. Okay, so then, let's see, 43, you want to retire 20 years, $300 a week. But you don't have to do it all now. You just have to start now. And it's a lot easier. Let compounding. Absolutely doable. I have people that retire off of 3 properties. They bought 3 properties and they figured out how to do what they do is kind of like this pad split model where they do shared housing. And they charge rent between 150 and 250 a week per room. They have 3 houses, 17 rooms. The houses do all the work. They can do whatever they want. You don't have to. All right. Do you have to go into debt to make money? This whole idea that you got to leverage and borrow. How many of you guys thinks that you have to go into debt? Debt is evil to me. I hate debt unless it's on real estate that's buying itself. But I'm not a big fan of credit card debt. Micha'ela, I carry it. I saw what you were saying and I get you 100%. You want to keep those balances below 20%. It's better to have 2 credit cards and have a greater balance and have a less a usage for your credit than it is to have no credit cards. You actually should have credit. I have 800 plus credit, so I can just tell you, I think I'm perfect credit in some places, and I don't have a lot. I don't really have any debt, but I keep a small balance on my credit cards, a bit less than 10%, because it makes me the most desirable. I don't know if I will need money, but I don't want to borrow any money, but I could. Yeah, 75% of the millionaires out there never even had a credit card. They just did it by saving. Sorry, everybody always tells you, what's a good credit score? Anything over 700. 850 is perfect, and anything about 650. Micha'ela's gonna be better at this than I am, but I can just tell you from my experience. I don't sit there and mess with the personal credit side as much as I do the business credit. Here's a good one. I could tell you that if you want to be excellent credit, it's over 720 if you're doing like a loan on your home. The philosophy of the rich is very different than that of the poor. The rich earn money and they invest it, and the poor earn money and spend it and then invest what's left. If you just teach yourself to do what Micha'ela was showing you, where you're taking, what was it, 15% and putting it into investing, and you just pay it like it's a bill. Pay it like it's a bill. Hey, I'm paying my cell phone bill, but it's called Robinhood. I'm paying my cell phone bill, but it's called E-Trade. My E-Trade. Just get the money in there, and you'll be doing what the rich people do, because about the top 20% of the wealthy own over 90% of the stock out there. In fact, I'll show you that chart right there. That's the top 20% earn almost 100% of the stock. This is the top guys right over here. That's the top 20% owning, what is that, about, those are trillions, which trillions is really big, by the way. Like if a stack of 100s for $1 million is 3 feet, $1 trillion is 641 miles. 3 feet versus 641 freaking miles. Trillions is a lot. And yeah, we're in debt as a country. 26 trillion, actually. It's a lot. It's not what they say, right? No, nobody likes that. Our CD is a good idea if you like your money to get devalued. The inflation's running at 5%, guys. So that every dollar that you have, you got to give it a purpose. You got to say, you got to go make me some money. Inflation is going to whack us. And you know what grows with inflation? 2 things, real estate and stocks. You want to protect yourself, you get into, I should say, securities. Crypto could work. Gold could be a hedge, but they're not assets in my book because they don't pay us any money. But if I was going into 2 asset classes, I'm going into something, I'm going to go into dividend paying stocks that aren't as volatile as the big growth stocks. I'm going to get into 3Ms, the Walmarts, the world, Lowe's, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, those types of companies. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has been paying its shareholders every year more money for 59 years in a row without taking a break. No matter what the economy is doing, they always pay their shareholders. I like that. Some people said crypto. Yes, crypto is good. A bunch of crypto. I just do Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'm not like, I do have some Doge and I did buy some Shiba, but then Shiba skyrocketed, so I sold it, and then I feel guilty because a bunch of people lost on it. But such is life, right? All right, here's the percentage of net worth in the country. Look at this stuff. The top 1% owns way too much of this country. Anything that you hear on TV is probably wrong. Everything that you see on the cable news, probably wrong. They're getting you to do something. There's an old adage. Wall Street makes its money off of activity. Investors make their money on inactivity. You buy and you accumulate and you never sell. People are going to say, oh, sell, trade, this, that's just. I do about 10,000 investor tax returns a year, my firm. 10,000. I've been doing this for 24 years. I work with wealthy people. Guess what? Nobody does that. Nobody's doing this churn. I can see who makes money. You know who loses money? People that are trying to time the market. All these traders and these people are going to show you all their big trades. Look what I did. I see their tax returns. They all lose money. It's like gamblers. I live in Las Vegas. The casinos didn't build themselves off of losing money to gamblers. They beat the heck out of the gamblers. And there was a 15-year study on stock traders. 1 to 5% make money. 1 to 5%. 95% lose. And I could tell you that's my experience too, doing the returns. You want to see where people make money? Look at this. It's not the students that are borrowing the money. It's the bank that has the loan. And the bank is sitting on a loan and you're like, but I got it for 4%. They're making money long haul. It's not what you think. And they're screwing you guys. My daughter's 23 and I get pissed at this. Sorry to use, Christine, I don't know if you guys are a Christian organization, you get mad at language, but I just be real straight with you guys. It pisses me off. They are causing more strife amongst young people than just about anybody. And so they say, oh, the elite master's degree doesn't pay off. Duh. You could actually do and say, here's how much I will make when I get a degree. And so if you go to an elite university spending $150,000 and you come out with an English major, guess what? Your life is going to suck because you have way too much debt, and you can walk around and say, but I went to Yale. People will just look at you like you're a goon and they'll say, sorry, we're not going to loan you any money. You got too much debt. But it's nice for cocktail parties and you can make people feel bad, right? The one thing that really cracks me up is I look at these numbers, like look at that huge debt, just rockets. Like since 2010, student debt is like tripled. And then they go and say, oh, but we'll give you more debt. That's how we'll fix it. We'll loan you more money. They are evil. If you were a drug addict and somebody said, hey, you know what will fix it? I'll give you some more drugs. We'll give you some better stuff. They're not your friend. And here's why. Look at this. So I feel a little bit passionate about this because I get ticked off. I hate what they're doing to some people. You guys can absolutely fix it. And I'll show you. 53% of high debt student debt borrowers, depression. 9 out of 10, anxiety. 1 in 15, think about suicidal thoughts. You want to attack that debt like it's your worst nightmare. You want to just attack it. You want to just say like, you know what? I'm going to get this debt out of my life and don't incur more. Treat it like they're trying to kill you because they are. This type of stuff, hey, I went to USC and I spent all this money. You're not going to be paying it back. $115 for a 2-year degree, $52,000 a year is the average. That's the average. That means that there's some people making $30,000 a year. That's a 2-year, which means if you guys can do math, that means $330K for that 4-year degree. And it will kill you because here's people that are impoverished and their life expectancy is a lot less than people who are making a lot of money. They are tricking you. So I'm going to give you some very easy ideas here. Ready? Assets feed you. If you're going to invest in something, somebody says, I have a little bit of money, I'm not sure into what to invest in. I'll tell you what, invest in things that pay you. Invest in assets. Do not invest in things that cost you money. So I'll ask you guys, if you got a money and like right now, let's say somebody gave you 20,000 bucks, would you put it in a house, gold, stock market? I'll just leave you those 3. Would you put it in a house, gold, stock market? A lot of house, a lot of some gold. Okay. So I'm not going to say what's the right answer. I'm just going to lay it out for you guys. If you buy a house and you put that money down, you took, what do we say, 20,000 bucks? So we put $20,000 and we buy a $200,000 house, or let's say we'll make it even better. We'll just do a $100,000 house. And by the way, I own about 40 houses in Houston. I know what the houses cost there. They've gone up a lot, but I've had houses there for a long time. They've all tripled in value. It's nuts there. But let's say you bought a $100,000 house. That means you have $80,000 of debt. Are you paying interest on that loan? So is this house putting money into your pocket? So here's you. Yay, I have a house. Is the house taking money out of your pocket or putting money back in? All right. So it's taking money out. It's a liability. You just bought yourself a big fat liability, and it's going to, so I hate to ruin your, like, hey, pop the balloon. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Now let's do that with gold. So I put $20,000 in gold. Does gold put money in my pocket every month? Does it take it out? Yeah, gold to me is kind of like it's neither. It's milk toast. It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything for me. It's not an asset. Somebody actually had a really good deal though. They said, hey, what about a rent to own? Or what if I rent it out? If you rent it out and it brings in more money than it costs you, that's good. If you rent to own, I'll give you guys the formula. You ready? 5%. If you can rent for 5% or less, pretend you could read my writing, you rent it. So if you have $100,000 house and you could rent it for less than 5% of 100,000, $5,000 a year, it's cheaper to rent. Understand? If it's more, then it's probably like if they're renting that thing out and they're going to charge you 10,000. If the rent, then you would buy, but you would only buy if the debt and all the expenses are 25% or less than what you're bringing in. Take home, not your, like, don't play this. I make $10,000 a month, because you're going to get $7,500 a month is what you're actually going to get when they take your taxes out. You want to be in a position to still have a life. So this is real easy. Assets and liabilities, they're just, they cancel each other out. You want to be worth $1 million, you got to have more assets and liabilities. And what we do is the banks will tell you that your house is an asset. I can tell you as an investor, they don't let you count your house. They'll use the liability against you though, because everybody knows that's an investor that the house isn't worth anything. Look at 2007 and 8. I don't know if you guys were old enough to remember, but all these people were real estate rich and cash poor. They couldn't make the payment on the debt, so the banks took the houses back because there was no market for houses. So all these people said, but I have $1 million house. It's worth what somebody will pay you for it. So they start dumping them on the market. And $1 million house in my neighborhood went from $1 million to 250,000. So you know what? It's not $1 million house. Even though you have a loan on it for 700,000, it's worth 250. You're underwater and life sucks. Your house has to be income producing to pay the liability. Your house is a liability. Never, ever forget that. It doesn't mean you don't have a house, but it means you be careful with it. It should not bury you, and it's not an asset. That is actually a big fat liability. So you get a big loan on a big house. You ever see those people? They're in their 50s. They got the big house. They got the brand new Beamer, and they're sweating it, and they don't have a dollar to their name. It's just like Micha'ela said, they're Henrys. They have all this money, and they just keep raising their lifestyle, and they can barely afford it. I call it the golden cage. You buy the car. Car's not paying you anything unless you Toro it. But if it's your drive around car and you're not getting a business to pay for it, it's a big fat liability on top of liability. But people will list it. I got an asset. And we do this with cars, with houses. We do this with boats. We do this with our diplomas. We do this with gold. And it's not, if it's paid for and no mortgage, you have real estate taxes, you have repairs, you have everything else. It's still not an asset. It doesn't mean you don't buy it, but I'll show you the formula for when you could buy it. Hopefully we'll have time. They're tricking you. They're saying, I'll let you borrow money. I'll give you this grant. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. And they're just trying to get your hand in that bear trap. Whap. Don't do it. You'll end up in this golden cage. So here's a lot of your friends, maybe your parents. They're stressed all the time. And they're like, you don't know what it's like to have to pay the bills. You don't know how it's expensive to have you kids, blah, 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 blah. and you look at him, you go, you screwed up because you bought liabilities. Quit whining. If you'd bought assets, this is like, you ever played Monopoly? How many of you guys have ever played Monopoly? Play a little game here. How many of you guys just put yes in the chat? Yes, 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 yes. All right. So there's some live people out there. Love it. You go and you roll the first time and you land on a property that you could buy that will generate rents if somebody lands on it. Do you buy it or do you skip over it and keep going around the board? Or do you buy it your first time? Put it in chat. Everybody buys it the first time. You go around that board, you land on something you can buy, you could buy it. And what they're tricking you to do in our society is you land on it and they say, no, don't buy that. Buy a car instead. Okay. Pay somebody else rent instead. Because when you buy a house and it produces no income, you're paying the bank rent. When you have a loan, you're paying somebody else the right to own that home. So what you do is you just do what the rich people do. You just ask yourself, what would Bill Gates do? And I'll tell you what they all do. And Warren Buffett is the king of this. Somebody says, ask Dad. He who understands compound interest earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Credit cards are the best example. Compounding looks like this. If you plant a small little seed down here and give it enough time, it's going to snowball. It's interest on interest. And let me show you exactly what it looks like. This is $1,000 compounding at 10%. And by the way, the stock market, the S&P 500 has been growing at 13%. Last year, the real estate market grew at 19.8%. In some communities like mine was 50%. So in 10 years, here's 10 years of growth on that $1,000 at 10%. This is just one investment, $10,000. You give that 70 years, it's over $700,000, almost $790,000. If all you did is planted one seed and said, hey, you know what, I'm going to let it grow at 10%. I'm going to buy some dividend paying stock. And the numbers on dividend paying stocks are ridiculous when you look at it over a 10-year period, because they compound on, because they're paying you on, and you can invest it right back into the company. It starts buying you more shares. It's called a drip. So you buy a dividend paying company, Walmart, and just say, hey, whenever it pays me dividends, which you'll pay zero tax on because your tax rates are small. If you're below $80,000, if you're married, or below $40,000 if you're single, you pay zero tax on that, and it buys you more shares. It just keeps buying more shares for you, and it keeps increasing its dividend. If that's all you did and you sat back and said, I'm just going to buy $1,000 and let it grow, and then when I retire, when I'm 80, or hopefully you guys never retire, hopefully you learned something that you love so much that you never want to quit it, you're going to have a crap ton of money. Here's Warren Buffett's net worth on a age chart. When he was 52, what do you have? Now I can't even see my own crap. He had $376 million. When did he hit his first million? He was 30 years old. But he's got over 80 billion. That's called compounding. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. Everybody that's out there flipping houses, flipping their, hey, I'm going to do cryptocurrency and I'm going to cash out. That's called being rich for a really short period of time. You want wealth, you plant seeds and let them grow. You don't go harvest too early. Here's the numbers on investing. I was telling you a few of them earlier. It doesn't take much. If you're 20, look at this, $12 a week will get you to $1 million at age 67, 12% increase, less than what the S&P is. And I'll show you some ways to actually max that up. So knowing a little bit, now let's play a game. What would you like to own? Would you like, this is a house. This is a chart of houses since I think it's about 1980. Look at that growth. That looks great. Does that look like it's compounding though? No. Here's gold. Somebody said that their dad buys gold. Your dad's old time. He's old school. He likes that gold because he hates that US dollar. It'll help against inflation, which is ridiculously high right now. But you know, I had a econ guy once tell me, he was really good when he goes, don't invest in gold, invest in Coke instead. And I said, like Coca-Cola? He goes, no, Coke, snort it and you get a little bit of enjoyment out of it. Your gold's never going to give you any enjoyment. I was like, are you crazy econ? Yeah, don't buy Coke, don't do that stuff. But here's the other stuff. This is the total market, stock market index versus that's gold, and that's your house. This is the national, this is the Case-Shiller US National Home Price Index. This is the just the price of gold on a fixed time using the London Bullion Market. And this is the Wilshire 5000 total market. You do dividend stocks, dividends actually do this above the normal stock market. But if I'm just putting the whole stock market against it and said, hey, we're not going to use any strategies or anything to maximize it. And then here's the real estate, if you do investment real estate, which you can buy through something called a REIT. You don't have to go out and buy a bunch of rental properties or anything like that, although I do. But I also have REITs and Federal Realty Trust, a bunch of them. They invest in real estate for you, and they have to pay out 90% of their income every year to their shareholders. So you get money every year. But if you just look at those, like those four asset categories, it's not even close. These guys are kicking the rumps of these guys. This is gold. This is house. This is the stocks and real estate. So if you want to buy stocks, go open up one of these accounts. They'll give you a free share. And it's actually tons of fun. If you are, there's something called a Bieder-Meinhof phenomenon. If you've ever learned it in school, it comes from from German, but I'll use something that'll be relevant to you guys. If you're looking at a car and you start looking at, let's say, what's a car you guys like to look at? What's your guys' favorite car? Does somebody put that in there? Put in the chat just so I don't sound dummy. Pinto. No, you can't. 911 Tesla. All right, so you're looking at Tesla. Guess what? We're going to look at a Tesla. So you'll start looking at Teslas. Guess what you're going to notice driving around you all the time? You're driving down the freeway. Guess what you're going to see everywhere? You're going to see Teslas everywhere because all of a sudden it's relevant to you. You get a share of any company, all of a sudden that company becomes relevant to you. You buy a share of AT&T, which don't do right now because they're going through a weird split. But let's say you bought some AT&T or Tesla, even better yet. Every time you hear Tesla, your body's going to immediately pick up because it's relevant to you now. If it's irrelevant, your body blocks it from you, so you never hear it. So start buying a stock and go into Robinhood, go in there, and you're going to start picking up. Like if it was me and I was telling you, I have a site, which Christina will probably share with you, that's free, that you guys can join. If you want to learn the stock market, we have 3 times a week that I have professional traders in there that'll teach you how to trade. And it's free for you guys. So I'll share that with Christina, but you guys could absolutely do it. Because I mean what I say, we want to help people generate wealth. And by the way, you're better at it than the professionals. This is the S&P versus professionals. Last year and almost every year, the S&P beats by 78 to 22% the professionals. If all you did is buy the SPY or something that's a total stock index, you would kick the crap out of the professionals. And it gets worse. Over a 15-year stretch, 92% of the professionals underperform the market. You do not need people to tell you what to do. You could absolutely do it yourself. So I'll make it real simple for you. Do what the rich do. Own investment real estate, stay out of debt. Christina, did I go over? Because I have a little bit more if I could. But if you don't want me to, I don't have to. You're muted. You know me, I'll talk.
Sorry. We have about 5-7 minutes, and then we would like to do some Q&A.
All right, perfect. Then I'm going to show you guys how exactly it looks. You ready? Here's what they're going to do to you. It's called the losing loop, and it's evil. They're going to get you to take your hard-earned income and start doing this and dumping it into liabilities. They're going to trick you into buying cars. They're going to get you into doing credit cards. They're going to bit you into, hey, financing your computer or your iPhone or anything else. They're going to trick you to do that because that's a liability, and then your income is going down here. Then you use your credit card to pay your expenses, and you borrow against things so you can pay your expenses. That cannot continue to exist. It looks like this. Your liabilities are going to expenses, your income are going to those liabilities. It means you're putting your liability is somebody else's asset. The credit cards are really good at tricking you. Wait till Black Friday. And they're going to be like, whoa, hey, you can buy this, you can buy that. It's so on sale. My wife does this to me. My wife is awesome. She's smoking hot Colombian. She's just wonderful. It's like the nicest gal ever. And she loves this. She comes home and she's got bags with her. And I'm like, what's in the bags? And she goes, it was on sale. We saved so much money. I'm like, whoa. How do we save money spending money? I got to get her to quit that. She's so sweet to me. I can't help it. And we don't care, right? So don't pay expenses with your liabilities. Just say no. Somebody says it's me coming home with food. Yeah, Jay. It's like, oh, I got it on sale, right? Don't use your income to pay for liabilities. Your income is, you work way too hard for it. You're working your butt off. Just say no. Don't buy liabilities with liabilities. Don't buy that car with the big loan. Don't buy that house with the big loan. Don't buy the furniture with the big loan. Don't buy something that you can't afford. I hate to say that because some of you guys are still going to want to go do it. Just understand what you're giving up. You're giving up some freedom. When you buy something like, hey, I buy that Rolex. I always see these guys, they're like, you look at, what was it? Elon Musk walks around in a black t-shirt and jeans, right? And then you got the guy on the internet, on YouTube and Instagram saying, I'll show you how to make money. He's got some funky thing on. He's got his, he's got his Gucci shoes on or his Versace, and he's got his outfit all done up. And I'm like, wow, he spent a lot of money on that. That suit right there would be about $100,000 in retirement if instead of you invested in that suit, you had put it into the market or bought some crypto with it, right? Like Rent-A-Centa. Yeah, stay away from that. Yeah, don't go broke trying to look rich. Yeah, some people say, God, there was a really good quote. A lot of people use their money to make it look like they make money. I like to use my money to make money. And I don't care what anybody thinks of me. It's called the subtle art of not giving a frick. So that's called the losing loop. So here's your rule. Rule number 1, use your income to buy assets. Do it like your like your life depends on it. Because it does. Happiness, longevity, the ability to have autonomy, go to vacation whenever you want to. You just do it slowly. They say, oh, but the market's so high, right? I get it. Timing the market doesn't work. They've done tons of studies. I'll tell you good things to buy. There's been tons of studies on this. You want to beat the market? Find 20 companies that pay you good income dividends. I would say over a 2%. You can come into our site. Again, Christina will share that probably tomorrow. You can pick out the companies. We rate them. There's about 60 that really qualify, and that's all you're doing. You're just picking it up and you're letting them compound and grow, and you're doing it over a long period of time. The stock market's not too high. It might correct 10%, but guess what? In 2008, when the market crashed 38%, the dividend kings and the dividend companies only went down 18%. And then since that time, they've triple performed the market. They don't fluctuate that much, guys, because they're dumping their money into your pocket the whole time. And that's what you want to do. So you use your income to buy assets, use your assets to pay for your expenses. What you do is you start getting to where you say like, hey, I have this much money coming off my assets. So it might be $200. Okay, then you could use that $200 to buy something, right? You want to buy something that's, frivolous. Okay, let the asset buy it. Don't you work for it. Let the asset buy it. And then use your assets to pay off your liabilities. The top 2%, it looks just like this. Almost all of my income goes into assets. Almost all of the wealthiest clients I have, almost all of it, they're buying more stocks, they're buying more real estate. I'm a little bit of a real estate whore. I like to buy rental real estate. I buy mobile home parks. I like buying because I think that's a big one. I like shared housing. I like transitional housing for inmates. I have commercial buildings, warehouse. We have a lot of RV parks and things like that, warehouses. But my honest to God favorite is when I have single family residences where I can go to the tenant, and if they're a veteran or something, I can say, hey, half rent for you, and don't worry, you're there as long as you want. You know why? Because I can. Once you're independent, then nobody's telling you what to do. All these people, all of our politicians, is what you ask. I've purchased homes for people just out of because I can. Ask a politician the last time they took care of a family. Hey, did you take it? Did you invite them into your house? Did you cover their expenses? When somebody was suffering in COVID, did you cover their pays? I've had tons of folks, like most wealthy people will do it out of the good of their heart. If they have employees, I got an employee that had an aneurysm. She ended up in a coma for about 6 months. We were in a position, we said, don't worry about it, to her husband. You go spend every day with your wife. Let's pray that she recovers. I believe in stuff like that. So I'm going around saying, let's do prayer groups on her. She recovered. But guess what we were able to do? Cover every expense. You guys don't worry about it. You get to go do that. You know who can't do that? Somebody who's struggling to make ends meet. And so if you want to be that, there was a great Andrew Carnegie, richest man at the time. He wrote something called Gospel of Wealth. And he said, millionaires are trustees of the poor. If you are really good at making money, make a lot of it, and then help those that are not very good at making money. Because we all know somebody who's really bad at money. Just the same as really bad with relationships. My daughter's one of those. Say you're not allowed to pick your boyfriends anymore. Nope. We're going to pick them for you. All right, guys, that's it for me. Christina, you tell me anything you want me to do.
Okay. Emerson, do you want to start asking Toby some of the questions?
Yes, I would love to. First of all, I'd like to say, Toby, that was a wonderful presentation. You're an awesome speaker. Thank you so much for giving us so much knowledge.
Pleasure.
So yeah, I'm gonna go right ahead with the questions.
One second, Emerson, just 1 second. Everybody stay on. We've got some amazing prizes. You can test your knowledge from the presentations. We've got Toby's book. We got Micha'ela's book. We got gift cards. We got budget planners. We got it. Stay on and win some prizes.
I like prizes.
So let me see. Okay. First question is, what is the best way for a novice like me to start investing in stocks? So as a beginner, how do you invest in stocks? How do you get into that?
Easiest thing to do is to open up like a Robinhood account, let them give you a free share of a company, and then start just reading about that company. Because you want to give yourself some perspective of what the knowledge is. Like, what's the buy and ask? What is this dividend yield? What is this forward tip? The 12-month trailing. All those little things become relevant once you buy a company. Then the second step would be to join us. Again, I think they shared out the site. You can go to Infinity. Is it okay if I say it, Christina? Because I'm not soliciting anybody here. I just say that you go to infinityinvesting.com.
Share the link that you guys sent for the free class.
Yeah, it's absolutely free, guys. And you can go in there, and 3 days a week, they'll show you and help you pick a company and help you pull the trigger on your first one.
All right, second question is, how do you feel about index funds?
So index funds tend to outperform the people that are trying to do trading. So I like index funds from the standpoint of they're better than professional traders. I don't like index funds from the standpoint of they pay horrible dividend yields. So I tend to there was a great study out of Penn Wharton School. If you can pick 20 good companies, you're going to outperform the S&P and index funds by about 26% on an annual basis. So it's not even close. They smoke it. So if you have a company that you like, it's like if you like Coca-Cola, if you like Pepsi, I don't know if you guys, I don't know why I use soda, but let's say you like Walmart. You love Walmart. Amazon, don't like Amazon. My brother works there, but they don't pay dividends, but Walmart's a good company. Or you like going to Lowe's or Home Depot, whatever. Pick those companies and buy them and just start accumulating shares if the dividend yield is decent. Verizon's good, Chevron, Exxon. You may not like the oil companies, but they do a lot more than just oil. They get demonized, but they are good dividend producers, and they make money a year in and year out.
Hey guys, I'm going to share while Toby's answering questions the Kahoot login so everybody can start logging in. Sound like a plan?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We have
Can
a question.
everybody see that?
Yeah. I see the screen.
You see the Kahoot?
I see the Kahoot.
Okay, good. So everybody can start logging in while Emerson asks some more questions.
Okay, we have a question here. It's actually pretty lengthy, but I'll just shorten it. If you don't have all the funds, income to invest in real estate, would you say it's better to invest in REITs?
Yes, I'll make it easy. Yeah, you're better off. If you're going to do like you want to go real estate, what I would say is step number one is accumulate about $50,000 of income producing stock, because it's easier. Real estate has some fluctuations and there's some high expenses involved with owning your own real estate. But in that, you could be doing like Federal Realty Trust has a great dividend. There's some really good real estate companies that pay out really well. Oh, and Dominion and a few others are good REITs. Go there, and what you do is you'll just start paying attention to it. You'll start understanding the language. And then when somebody says put, call, hey, over the, at the money, in the money, naked put, this, that, and the other, you'll understand what they're talking about because it'll be relevant to you and you'll understand how it relates. It's the best way to learn, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. That was all the answers we have. Appreciate the presentation. And let's get on this Kahoot. Everyone, put your game pin on. And actually put your actual real name first and last name, if you could, please, because our top 3 winners, we're going to have to find your name out. So if you could put your real name, please. All right.
That's awesome.
Hey guys, we're excited. We're giving away books. We're giving away gift cards. We're giving away budget planners. We got you covered.
Keep on joining. Sorry, y'all. I just wanted to take this time and thank Toby and Micha'ela personally. I learned so much from y'all. Y'all are lifesavers, and I really appreciate the fact that, well, I don't appreciate it because it's not necessarily a great thing, but the fact that y'all have been through the things that a lot of us are going through right now, so you see it at that eye level and you're able to teach us like at that level. So I appreciate that so much. And moving forward, I'm already sharing this link for like one of my friends who wants to learn investing. So thank you so much. And y'all were awesome, both y'all. And I'm sure all the students, as you can tell, loved y'all's presentation. So thank you. And yes, keep getting on Kahoot. I only see a few of you. I've seen so many people in this meeting. So I'm going to need y'all to join. Come on, y'all. I know y'all want some prizes.
Toby, if you want to stay on, you're welcome to. If you need to go, we understand. It's up to you.
Yeah, I got to run off if it's all right. But
Toby,
I just love getting to talk to y'all.
Thank you so much for your presentation. And we are so excited. And his information, we've got a flyer. We're going to email it to everybody.
Yeah. And guys, take advantage of any information you can. Micha'ela's right. She's spot on. And you can't have enough Micha'elas out there that are looking out for your best interests. A lot of these bankers and everybody else, they're just looking at you as a product and they're just trying to sell you something. So go to people that'll actually help you and take care of you guys. And we're here for you if you ever need us.
Bill, you needed something?
Yes, I just wanted to step in and say, Mr. Toby, thank you again for spreading this information to our students. We have learned a lot. And I would also like to just say thank you for, coming out and doing this for us, especially at this time in our lives and during the pandemic. And it means a lot to us. So I just wanted to step in and say thank you before you got off. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. My pleasure. And Godspeed to all you guys. And I hope that you guys just crush it and then help other people with all the money you guys are going to make. I could see it right in this group.
So who's ready to get this Kahoot started? Drop me a thumb if everybody's in. Are we ready? I'm going to start. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So Answer the questions the best you can. These are all from the presentations. A dividend stock is ownership in a company that distributes money or stocks to its shareholders. True or false, guys? Come on. We're giving you 30 seconds to answer the question. So we want to make sure everybody gets those answers in. It was true. Let's see who's on the podium. Is it showing you guys who's on the podium? Let's see. I'm still learning this. Apparently it's not. We'll learn at the end. Okay. Oh, there we go. We got Mary J. You ready for the next question? What is not a factor of your credit score? Not, guys. What is not a factor? Hey, we got 14 correct answers. Let's see who's on the podium. Mary, you're still leading the podium. Let's go with the next one. Susan or Susie, you're moving up. A blank credit card requires no deposit and offers a credit limit up front on income.
By the way, y'all, I don't know if we said this already, but us as officers won't be able to win. So please keep answering and get y'all's little.
Yes, we're not going to win. We're making sure you guys get the prizes. We got 9. It was unsecured. So let's see who's on the podium. Sarah, you're moving up. Let's see the next question. True or false? Young adults who receive financial education aid are less likely to carry credit card debt. True or false? So is that true or false, guys? Everybody got your answers in? 14 people got it right. The answer was true. Suze, you're moving up. Sarah, you're still in the lead. Next question. All of these are ways to establish credit, except which one is not a way to establish credit? Opening multiple accounts. That is correct. So Valerie, you're moving up. We've got Sarah and Erica. Let's go to the next one. We got number 6. We got 12 questions. In the US, what percentage of millionaires are self-made? What did Toby tell us? Over 75%. Let's see who's on the leaderboard. Sarah, you're moving up. Valerie and Erica. Okay, our next question. True or false? You got a 50-50 shot. More than half of the US millionaires made less than 100,000 per year. Is that true or false, guys? What did Toby and Micha'ela tell us? Twelve got it right. The answer was true. We got a new contender on the leaderboard. Let's go to the next one. True or false again? A secured credit card requires at least $200 to $300 deposit and will be held for 6 months. Is that true or false? True. That's a secure card, guys. A unsecured does not require a deposit. What are the 2 areas to invest in historically in the US? What did Toby tell us? What should we invest in? Real estate and stocks, rental real estate. So let's see. Oh, Sarah, you're on fire. Let's see. Has a streak of 9 correct. Next question. Choose between given between 1 million or a cent that doubles in value. Which one's worth more, a million or 1 cent that doubles in value every day? A doubling penny. Remember what Toby taught us about long-term investments. So we got Rita moving up to the podium. We got 2 questions left. Number 11. What is the process of creating a plan to spend money called? From the very beginning of the presentation, what were we talking about? Oh, 15 got it right for budgeting. Let's see where the podium is. Valerie, I'm going to turn this over to our USC President Bill so that he can talk about the next question and the last question.
Hey, good evening, everyone. This question is, what is the difference? Oh, wait. What is the difference between an asset and a liability? We got 4, 2, 1.
Ready for the drum roll, Bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, let's go. Let's go, Val. Let's go.
Awesome.
All
We
right.
have
Give me one.
Valerie. Go ahead, Bill.
Yes, go ahead. I was writing down the names.
Okay.
All right.
We have Valerie.
All righty.
Go ahead, Bill.
So Valerie, you will receive, let me make sure, I want to make sure I state this right. For the first place prize, you will receive a financial planner, a gift card, and also a book, 2 books, one from Micha'ela and one from Toby, and some HCC swag. So congratulations, Valerie, on being our winner. If you can, please send me over your email address, your student email address, in a private message, for I could get that sent over to the team and we could get your prize sent out to you. For our second place prize, we have a gift card. Sarah, you will receive a gift card on behalf of the United Student Council, along with a planner, and also another book, t-shirt, swag, and gift card. So if you could do the same and send me over your student email address, and I could get that to the team and we could get it to you. And once again, congratulations on becoming our second place winner. All right, for third place, Rita T, we have a gift card for you, some HEC swag, and also we have a book that we will be sending to you also, or you could pick it up from one of the campuses, and I believe that campus will be with Christy at Northwest.
Bill, if they'll let us know, we can have it sent to a student life office at a college closest to them if they prefer.
Okay, and I will add that also to the email, along with to email to you all, reminding you about the coming to the SLC building closest to you to pick up your prizes.
And
I want to give
Micha'ela and Toby have information we're going to email out to everybody.
All right, thank you. Christy, you're awesome. I would also like to give out a thank you and a round of applause to all of you, our winners, and also the students who participated on tonight. And it shows our faculty, staff, and colleges and other community colleges that we are HEC strong, as my slogan often goes. We're HEC strong, and we are known as the Eagles, and we always soar. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you tonight for participating in this event, and I hope to collab with a lot more local SGAs on the behalf of the United Student Council regarding events that they may have. Thank you, and I turn the floor over back to Christy.
Thank you. Does anybody want to ask some last minute questions of Micha'ela? Otherwise, we're going to wrap up tonight.
I don't have a question, but I'd just like to say your presentation was awesome, Micha'ela. Please come back if you have any other events similar to this, or I don't know, you might pick up another trade that we might that we might need. I mean, but yeah, you're awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you.
It was amazing to honestly be here. This is actually my very first speaking engagement. I will remember this for the rest of my life. And so I really wanted to give my all. I understand us as millennials, Gen Zers, our attention spans like really tiny. So I just tried to bring the heat. And I really hope that you guys will take these things and apply them. Like really, it will change your life.
Yeah, not a
I
question.
couldn't even tell that was your first speaking. Sorry, Alejandro. I could not tell at all. Your energy was awesome and you did so great. So don't even, I know you're gonna have a lot more. So keep it up, keep that pressure up, and it's gonna be great. Sorry, Ale, my bad.
Hey, Mel and Leo, do you want to go ahead and announce the next event that we are having? I know we've got another great event this month.
Yes, so I just wanted to invite everyone next week on Thursday at 12 o'clock. We have HCC Without Borders. So if you are an international student or a DACA recipient, or if you know someone who is, please tell them to attend the event. We will have speakers, the director of International Students Office, and also an immigration lawyer to talk in that event. So if you're interested, please join our event. And thank you.
So I guess we're going to wrap up for the night. Keep in mind, everybody, you'll get a homework assignment from Micha'ela and a flyer from Toby, and we'll get those prizes out and notify you via email. And have a wonderful night. Thank you to the wonderful SGA, Northwest, and USC that have helped put this thing together. Thank you.
Christina, thank you. Please don't forget to send the links for Toby's information as well.
Oh, I'll
Thank
drop
you.
that again. Let me do that
Thank
right
you.
now.
We will have that all dropped. I did drop it in the chat, and this is being recorded. Let me see if I can paste
I
it
just
again.
dropped it one more time.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it one more time.
That is the link
This
that y'all
is
can
the
send me.
link that he has created for us to attend his seminar.
Yes.
And it's
Thank
a
you, Kristen,
free
for all your
seminar.
hard work, because we're learning so much and you set it up. You've given us prizes. Like you and Eugenia did awesome. So I thank you so much. Everybody learned so much, and it was very entertaining too. I've never been good with like math and finances, but this made it seem fun, and all of the apps and things that you've showed me, I definitely will be jumping on. I was already texting my girlfriend like, hey, we need this, and tomorrow we need to learn about this, and you need to sign up. So thank you.
I'm glad everybody had fun, and thank you guys so much for joining us.